Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. In the last episode, a lot basically happened. I'm trying to remember all our outstanding story elements that we have. Enter the Greenway, Flotilla Aid, help Rico's experiments, improve the Overlook. Okay, yeah. Right, that was it, wasn't it? So if we go to the Overlook, if you want to improve that, that's not too bad. Get a bit of extra money, some random scrap, which is always lovely. Right. Final dice we have. Let's grab some extra information yet again. So we can then take to these people and sell a little bit for a little bit of extra cash. What else do we have? They're still selling scrap, so we'll buy some of that. I got another piece of a ship mined as well. Might hold on to that as well then. Go back to base. Throw free credits to feed the stray. Throw a component to basically self-repair. End the cycle. Really good hand. Moritz. Sleep a long time. Moritz is smiling at you when you leave, clearly happy to see you again. Moritz, good to see you, you say. Same. He rubs his hands on his jacket. How have you been? Working hard, you say. I bet, he grins. Well, you're always welcome to hang at the bay if you want. He glances around. Actually, that's what I'm here about. I know Bliss said she didn't want to take any more big jobs, but she's changed her mind or something, he grins. Because now we have someone looking for a retrofit of our ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarmed, cutting out defensive arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. He leans in. We're able to start an arms dealership with all the hardware we're having up there when we're done, he laughs. Anyway, it's a massive job and we need some hands. Bliss said to go to you. So come up. Bliss is waiting on you to accept the job. He pauses. It'll be good to have you up there again, he grins. Like old times. Okay. That's still ticking over. So let's head up. I'm going to go to the lounge. Yeah, it's expensive, but I'm up here, so let's grab something to eat. Boost our energy up. Let's have a look at this mission. When you enter the bay, it is weirdly quiet. Moritz must be out on some errand, and maybe Bliss is prepping the kit. Sleeper. Ankhita is drifting at one side of the bay. You missed her completely when you came in. The idea of not seeing Ankhita when you entered the room would have seemed unlikely to you several cycles ago, but seeing her without her armour, she seems smaller, less imposing. Ankhita, you say? She nods and kicks off from the wall, drifting closer. So what is this, he asks, come to avenge Ashton or the Sleeper? Or just looking for another payout? Her anger is familiar, but quieter than before, restrained. I don't want to fight, you say. And why are you here? She looks away. and you can hear the anger. You can hear her anger isn't directed at you in particular, it radiates off her like a fire. You better be ready to sign, comes a shout from the bay entrance, because I've got my best repair tech coming up here especially, and they're going to... Bliss glides in and suddenly stops herself when she sees you and Ankita standing off. Oh, Sleeper, you're already here. Miss Cassata, this is the tech I was telling you about. Best on the... She stops, looking between the two of you. Wait, do the two of you know each other? You and Ankita look at each other. We worked together, you said. Bliss squints at both of you before continuing. Before continuing, Bliss produces slate. Now, Miss Cassata, if you'd like to sign our damage waiver here, we can start on the decommissioning. She looks at you. My tech here is eager to get started, as am I. Akita scrawls a signature across the slate. Thank you. Bliss pauses. And everything is okay with the special payment terms we discussed. She gives Akita a strange smile. All fine, says Akita, giving you another hard look. Then she kicks off and drifts to the entrance. I'll be in the gimbal, she says, and leaves. Special payment terms? She glances over her glasses at you. Look, Sleeper, there's something I have to tell you. She glances around again. What is she so nervous about? Isn't exactly a typical job. Miss Aghita, she gives you a knowing look, doesn't have the chits to pay us, so we made a special arrangement, she sighs. I'm leaving. You're joining a mercenary crew. Don't make me laugh. Aghita is an ex-merc. Why do you think she's getting us to remove all her SIP armaments? Amber. The SIP is called Amber. Bliss gives you a funny look. There's some deep history there, huh? She holds up a hand to stop you answering. Look, all I care is that she's heading for the Starwood Belt. She looks out at the bay. That's where I'm heading. She turns back to face you. Also, I want to ask, she stops and saw, if you'd like to come with us. I can't, you say. She interrupts before you answering. I know things have been hard for you on the Eye, and you're helping me so much. I asked Akita if she could carry two of us, and she said yes. Moritz will take over the bay anyway, although if you stay, you're welcome to help him run it. I just thought, she sighs. You might be in need of a fresh start as much as I am. She turns away nervously. Think about it anyway. The berth is there. We've got to finish the job first anyway. And with that, she kicks away and heads to the racks before you can offer an answer. Moments later, Moritz enters with a new cutting tool for the disarming of the ambergris. The Starwood Belt, you push your thoughts to the back of your mind. Time to get to work. So I suspect that's basically going to give us another way to get off the station. The thing is, I want to do the next story expansion bit as well, so that's probably not what we want to do. Disarm the ambergris. Yeah, this is going to be straightforward. I think this is going to be a crit success at this point. So let's just throw these in. We get all the parts we need. As you can see. Amber looks better than she ever has before. Bliss has done an incredible job cleaning up the hull, and despite the exterior changes being limited, she has an impression of being lighter, somehow sleeker than before. Moritz drifts by. He has been loading up the final equipment onto Amber. It turns out Ahita will be taking her weapons, but packed and ready to sell at the first Starwood Belt port she hits. But now that Moritz is done, he seems in a kind of daze, floating back and forth aimlessly. You okay, Moritz, you say? What's that? He turns... Oh, right, yeah. Packed and stacked, he smiles a weak smile. Was hoping Miss Casata would let me keep a warhead. What for? He shrugs. Don't know, just might be a cool thing to have around. A sleepy looks down. Do you know Bliss was leaving? You understand now. She told him. That's why he is like this. I did. He nods distractedly. She says this place is mine. He looks up around the bay like it's suddenly some vast space he doesn't know what to do with. You'll do a great job. He looks down at you. Hey, thanks, he smiles. I appreciate you saying that. Not many people believe in me before now. First Bliss, then you. A dark look suddenly crosses his face. Hey, Sleeper. There was something that Bliss said. He meets your eye. Are you going too? Before you can answer, a heater glides into the bay, a massive crate of soda. Sleeper, you coming or what? Bliss is already on board. She stops by the terminal, holding herself in place. Moritz looks at her with a dazed expression. You look at her heater. She's keeping it together now. She's packed all those bad feelings down, someplace where you'd never see them, and build a tough foundation on top. She may not be a mercenary anymore, but you imagine most people would think twice before trying to cross her. Well, she looks at you. I'm not eager to spend another moment of my time on this station unless I have to. She pauses, looking between you and Moritz. She sighs. I'll give you a minute. And she kicks off with the crate, taking it to the end of the bay where the amber sits docked. Look back at Moritz. I'm staying, you say. Moritz looks like he might pass out. Sleeper, are you sure? Are you doing this for me? The bay needs me, you say. Or we could say I'm staying for you. I'm staying for me. Yeah, I'm staying for me. Moritz nods. Alright then, you're staying. He grins. Akita comes back across the bay, the final crate stowed. You staying then, Sleeper? I'm staying. She nods. Well, okay then. One less mouth to feed. She pauses. Look, Sleeper, I'm not going to go back over everything that happened, she sighs. I'm trying to put that behind me, but I hope you find what you're looking for here. She smiles. She kicks off gliding to the ambergris and the storeward belt beyond it. You both watch in silence as Amber's dries fire up. I guess this is our place now, he says Moritz. The weight of everything suddenly hitting him. I guess so. He smiles. That's cool. You both stay for a while to watch Amber and Bliss and Ankita leave, and then Moritz goes to the racks to finally implement a new organization system, and you head out, promising to be back to check on things soon. As you glide around the soft curve of the hub, you catch glimpses of distant stars flickering through the windows. They are beautiful, it's true, but now you think of them as distractions. In your time on the Eye, you realise there's nothing out there waiting for you. No fresh starts, no bright futures. There's a whole lot of problems you haven't found yet. No, your place is here, among the people you know and the problems you know. You wish Ahita and Bliss the best luck out in the belt, but as you do, you focus on the Eye, on the vast spinning rim that rotates around its hub, on its buildings, its flashing lights, on its people and places. This is your home, and for now, it contains all the futures you need. The fixed stars. We're back on the Eye. Here we go. Next round is yours. Moritz arrives at the table with a couple of steel drinking canisters, typical of the hub's only bar, the Gimbal Lounge. He settles in the webbing beside the table and clanks them down onto the magnetic table. This place, you have decided, is ridiculous. Rapidly spinning cavernous sphere, the Gimbal's weak gravity, just like the gravity at the Eye's rim, is created by its gut-wrenching rotation. The interior surface of the sphere is the Gimbal's floor, which descends towards the equator, where one long bar loops around the entire circumference. Tumbling out from the central ring are an array of booths and seating arrangements, equipped with all kinds of harnesses and webbing to keep customers in place. Those harnesses are there because the gimbal doesn't quite spin up fast enough, and you watch as clientele bounces towards the bar in lazy arcs, all shifting from table to table with graceful leaps. What are you thinking? Asks Moritz, noticing you staring out into the gimbal. How weird this place is, you chuckle. Moritz glances around as if for the first time. Yeah, Bliss never used to like coming here. Moritz takes a drink and stretches. So, Sleeper, you sticking around? If you'll have me. Moritz nods, of course. I'm going to need help in the bay. Moritz rubs the back of his head. One cycle at a time, that's how we'll take it. Nice and easy. You aren't sure if he's talking to himself or you. We'll make it. He lifts his drink for a toast. To the next cycle. He pants, waits, and knocks it back. Later, when you finally leave the gimbal, Moritz is still laughing. You help him out of the spinning gimbal and back to the hub, sending him on his way home to the bay. Then you pause for a moment to watch the stars as they spin and spin around the eye. You smile to yourself and think of Bliss and Akita out there somewhere amongst those points of light. To the next cycle. I definitely thought we'd get a XP point for that. Okay. So this basically is just more ways to get more money. So let's get back down. Let's get back to home base. Fix ourselves up a little bit. Throw a bit of money at the cat. And rest. We did unlock an achievement for getting that ending. I'd have liked to see what happens if we fly off into space, to be honest. Let's go to re-roll that right now. Not great. Not going to lie. Okay. That is Ribert ticking it over, which I'm not that interested in dealing with right now. Let's crack out some of these. Those just suck. Just straight up suck. We haven't got a ton of food either. We need to get energy back. I think I will just pay for a meal. Just pay for a meal. Those dice are terrible. Let's see what Reba wants. As you enter Reba's office, you hear voices. Is that Sabine? You push open the door. Sleeper, what good timing. Rabia calls out as you enter. I want to introduce you to someone. The man is standing at the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Sleeper, he nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles an easy smile. Oh, this is the person that they believe is a traitor. Good to meet you, you say. Likewise, likewise, he waves a ringed hand. Now, Rabbi, where were we? Actually, Rabbi placed his hand on your shoulder. The sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. He doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. A tiny pause. They have shown themselves to be capable ally here on the spokes on the spoke side, but we have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. Yannick leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses simmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabbi smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step close to you. You eager to work, Sleeper? Yes. Yannick nods his head as if listening to music. Okay then. You are suddenly unsure if he is talking to you. That concludes it, Yannick pronounces. Steeper can work in the ward any time they like. You suit Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it's so fast you almost miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Jan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes a soda. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabbi away, leaving you standing alone. You look to Rabbi, but she is deep in conversation, and so, stunned, confused, you leave. So yeah, we're basically, I think, they're going to use us, yeah, they're going to basically use us as a mole. Well, isn't that just lovely? So we're basically being used as cannon fodder. Let's see if we can... yeah, we've got another Masaki. Random rare mushrooms, yeah. Not a lot we can do. The commune, work assignments. Okay. And even if we open up here, there's nothing we can see. No. Okay. And that's the next story arc that we need to basically take care of. Okay. Right. So let's do this quickly then. Let's steal some stuff from Yatagan. That's not Yatagan, that's Havana. We don't have it. What we need for Yatagan to do it. Actually, no, we do. We can go after... Okay. Let's grab the data. This is just... I believe this bit is just ways of getting extra funds. Easy way of just getting bonus money. Because we don't need all this data, so we can just basically... We're basically exchanging dice for credits, which yes, you do with other things, but this is just a good way of getting steady income without having to worry too much. Right. With that done, let's throw our last piece of scrap in to continue to keep ourselves maintained. We either need to buy scrap or we need to basically get it from somewhere. Throw a bit of money at Cat. Let's end the cycle. Not a great hand, but we can make it work for the most part. Throw some money at our friend, which will get our energy up. They're going to be back soon, as will he. Let's get this underway. So that's done. Tala. Tala stands back from the nearly finished still and tub, hands on hips. Look at this, he grins. The overlooked distillery in all its glory. She squeezes your sodas. She squeezes you around the sodas, thank you. What's next, you say? There is an issue. What's the problem? Well, Jarrell the drink, as you probably guessed, is named after Jarrell the mushroom. That's what gives it that golden colour and earthy taste. The alcohol is infused with mushrooms along with a mix of spices. That means you need Jarrell caps to make Jarrell, but no one wants to supply us. The distilleries on the Greenway are taking all the stock from the farms out there, so it's hard to get a single cap across Founder's Gap. However, I have an idea. She smiles. We can grow our Jarrell caps here. She gestures at the increasingly equipment-filled back room. I can bring you mushrooms, you say? Tally gives you a pitying look. Where's your vision? Any outside supplier means they take a cut. Okay, maybe not you, but someone somewhere takes a cut. Talia puts a hand on the still. We can make a still. We settle this up. How hard can growing mushrooms be? They don't need light, they barely need soil. We can do this, she pauses. Or at least we could, if we had something to grow them from. Like spores? Exactly. Suddenly you feel like you've walked into a trap, and you are the perfect person to get me those spores. She nods rapidly. Think about it. You built the still, you're great with plants, you know the eye like the back of your hand. Need I go on? After that isn't even true, you say. Don't be so modest. She pats you on the shoulder. Look, I can't leave the bar and other people picking up sifts. She grimaces. I'm saying it has to be you. Fine, you say. Wonderful. You'll love it over on the Greenway, I think. All that fresh air, open space. She sees your expression. Okay, I'm done. She turns back to look at the still and fledgling distillery forming around it. It really is something, though, isn't it? And want to or not, you really have to agree. Right. So, how many does she want? She needs 3 amounts of spores. Yeesh. Okay. That's not too bad. But it does mean that we do have to go in and collect Jarrell caps, which bit of a faff, not going to lie. No, she wants spores. What am I doing? And we lost energy because of that. Yeah, not great. Not going to lie, I could have done that better. Throw some money at them. And we'll rest for the night. That's not the best outcome. Again, that's pretty bad dice as well. It's dangerous. No, I'll just pay some money for some food. Okay. Let's try and get collecting spores done. That's the 3 she needs. Once again, we're getting bad rolls on doing this. Right, that's better. That is, he wants another one of those slipped in. And out in the waste to collect stuff, it's not worth it with a 2 or a 1, to be honest. Okay. Let's cross the rim. That guy isn't back yet. So we'll throw the spores in. Let's just hope she knows what she's doing, that Tala knows what she's doing. Because we don't want to have a fungal infection on this side of the station. Okay. So that's done, and that's going to be a number of cycles until she's ticked over. Okay, fine. Export Masataki. I mean, we have a number of them left. Let's do that. 80 cryo for 3 batches. Yeah, that'd be a good way of us making cryo. Caster's table is closed. Let's throw some money at this. End a cycle. That's not great, but I can work with it. The trader's back. Let's get some scrap. We'll throw our 5 dice at this problem here to bring that back up. I'm going to then re-roll our dice so it's better. Okay. Now, in hindsight, it's better just to let it go down, then pop a pill, and the pill basically fills you up. Oh, because we got sit mine parts. Okay, that isn't really what I was hoping for, to be honest. Because I don't really need more sit mines. I suppose I could sell the one I've just put together. I've got enough to make another sit mine. That could be worth it then. Put the sit mine together. Then we can sell a sit mine for spare parts, well, for credit. Yeah. We lose 1 sit mine, but we get 150, so that's fine. So we're not hurting for cash, which is good. Back over here, we need to harvest more mushrooms. Actually, let's keep that good. Okay. That's fine. We can now throw the final one at her. To then trigger her next story, Rico's next story chapter. Rico is at her bench, running small vials of some liquid through an old chemical analysis machine. The whirring of the spinning drum fills the lab with white noise, and your aunt saw it if she noticed your approach. Sleeper, it's good to see you. She looks up, smiling. This little project of ours has been keeping me awake for the past few cycles. But right now, well, I think I have something. You should rest, you say. I know my limits, she laughs to herself. I just don't like paying attention to them. The drum finishes spinning and Rico lifts a vial from it, holding it up to the light. This is something I extracted from those club heads you've been bringing me. And according to my analysis, it's a substance totally unique on the Greenway. She looks at the small amount of liquid in the vial. Any idea what it might be? Rico asks without looking from the vial. Stabilizer, you say. Rico nods. You aren't the first sleeper to come through here. Perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier. Rico's turn suddenly drops, changing the atmosphere in the lab immediately. I just thought, she pauses, thinking very carefully of how to continue. I just want you to trust us. What do you mean? She sighs. They came through a fair few cycles ago. We found them wandering in the broken section near the gap. The members who brought them in had never seen one of you before. They were terrified of this strange person wandering in from open vacuum. They are quieter than you and damaged. We did our best to patch them up and welcome them into the commune. I only really spoke to them once while I was working on their wounds, along with a couple of system engineers. She looks nervously at you. I'd never seen a body like that before. I took some readings, some samples. Samples? You have to understand, I was curious. I didn't know what I was looking at. I just took a little of the damaged material, less than a thumbnail. She sifts her weight to her crutch. The next cycle they were gone. They took a little food and hiked up towards the wild margins, where the greenway meets the wastes. Someone saw them in the distance, but that was it. They disappeared into the overgrowth. She sits down heavily, the vial in her hand. When I saw you, I wanted things to be different. I wanted to keep you here rather than let you disappear into wherever they ended up. She smiles to herself. Yes, I wanted to understand this place better, but I also wanted to help you. It seems that somehow both my wishes have come true at once. She holds up a hand with the vial. This is for you. You take the stabilizer, the glass core cold and smooth in your palm. How? Those club heads caps made it for you, or at least who or whatever made those club heads. She starts to clean the bents. It was right there, contained in their tissue. I only had to extract it. I imagine you understand how incredible that is. I learned enough from that sleeper to know that your body, your frame, as it runs on some exotic technology that has a time limit built in. Somehow the Greenway knows that too. It understands your physiology much better than I ever could. It knows how to treat you. Just like that miracle antidote that sprung from the mold, so too has the sprung from your presence here. The Greenway is speaking to you. It is welcoming you. She looks up. I know it sounds crazy, but I know it to be true. Here's the evidence. And what I also know is it's no longer speaking to me. Even after decades here, I have never seen this kind of response. Not since the antidote so many cycles ago. She smiles. So I'm going to make you a deal. You bring me as many club heads as you like. I extract the stabilizer and give it to you freely. But you have to tell me what the Greenway says. You have to speak with it, to dig into it, to find what brings it at the center of it. I've travelled as far as I can. I need you to do the rest. Can you do that? Yes. Rico sighs with relief and deflates into her chair. Thank you. I'm sorry for the other sleeper. I truly am. I'm sorry I couldn't have done more, but I'm so glad I met you. She smiles. You are welcome here any time. Rico falls silent. She looks smaller now, more fragile, and you realise how old she must be to have seen the collapse firsthand. You idea a little in the lab, in case he asks for anything else, but she remains silent, and so you drift back into the tunnel, thoughts of that other sleeper and where they ended up, weighing on your mind. Grow your own. So now we have the ability, folks, to basically, The only way for you to understand what the gardener gives you is to grow it. Rico is incredibly excited by the prospect. Okay, so fine. Let's plant seed. I take good care of it, sleeper. Rico smiles. You don't have to worry. So that's going to take a long time to process through. If we go back to her, if we bring her club head, she'll make her stabilizer. And we got a third point to upgrade. Okay. So we can either do intuition or engage, or we can do interface. Personally, I'm probably going to go intuition or engage. Let's go intuition, because that was the first one, that was the second one that we leveled up. So let's get that upgraded, which is fantastic. We do, though, need to plant some more mushrooms. And I think, if I remember correctly, what we need for the next storyteller over here as well, if I recall, it's they want some more Jarrells. Okay, that's fine. So, yeah, Jarrell cap. Throw that down. We'll chuck that in there as well. We'll get the spores we need. Which we can then plant here. And and that will give us some nice stabilizing compounds. And that will tick over and take a little bit of time to come back online, so we can go and rest here. Bit hungry, but that's fine. Those things are ticking over. We'll throw a touch of money to get some food, and then we'll be ready for the next episode, folks. Okay, so we're all ready to go into the next episode. I've been Cornish-knight, this has been Citizen Sleeper. We're clearing up a lot of the missions now, and the story's progressing, and soon, once we get these stuff done, we can push on to the next chapter, and I shall see you again next time. Goodbye.